everybody. Welcome to Nexus at Night, your weekly Vanguard podcast brought to you by our patrons at patreon.com/Nexus at Night. I just had a refreshing nap.
I did not have any naps today.
Yeah, same here.
It's
I woke up at 5 in the morning. Please end my existence.
Oh, you too? It's yeah, usually when I take a nap, it turns out to be this thing where I just feel worse afterward.
I woke up at 9 to play League of Legends, or to watch League of Legends. Not even play, just watch.
Oh. Was that like the natural time to wake up for you, or were you like a zombie?
Oh no, I'm fine waking up at that time.
Yeah.
I usually get up like around like 8 or 9ish on my own, regardless if I have an alarm set or not.
Yeah, same. I mean, the birds in my neighborhood are super loud though, so it's probably around 8ish, unless.
You believe in birds still? Interesting.
Well, you know, it's springtime. They're all going, "Hey, who wants to fuck?" Oh.
I mean, are they really any different than anybody else?
Okay, we're talking about the festival collection that has finished its reveals as of this week and has come out in Japan as of 3 days ago.
Yeah, there are some cards in here for. I think there's 2 clans per nation, or 2 cards per nation. 2 clans per nation. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's actually still kind of true.
Yeah.
Close.
If you count, but you have to kind of like change up what the word clan means. But so I guess we'll start with Dragon Empire since it is numero uno. So we'll start with I think the first new card is Rough Eating a Dragon Hungersaurus, which is a name, not what I would name a card.
What would you name it?
Well, it's just kind of Hungry Dinos level of naming.
Okay, that's better. That's a better name.
Hungry Dino. Yeah, that one might get you sued though.
Yeah, because it's an eating race.
So it's a grade 2 that has the ability during your turn it gets power plus 5,000. However, if your opponent has a front row rear guard, it cannot attack the Vanguard. So we're going to have a 15k beater under the caveat that it can only attack Vanguard if your opponent's front row isn't.
So this looks like it's meant to work with Eugene, right?
Yeah, I would assume something like that, which is reasonable. Mm-hmm. Eugene is pretty weak coming out of Eugene seemed pretty weak coming out of set 1.
Mm-hmm.
Granted,
yes, it did.
A little bit of play here and there, but
didn't it get top 8 a couple of times?
I got top 4, I think.
That's impressive.
Yeah, I think it's punishing. I think it's punishing some very specific types of things. I think abusing the fact that lots of people are playing Fire Magnus or something like that.
Maybe.
But I mean, I guess kind of the joke is that everyone should just be playing Bruce, I suppose. Bruce is white.
Bruce is in fact a very sweet deck.
The deck is sick.
I guess that's just our running joke now, right? Is just Bruce is the coolest deck.
It's not a joke though. It's just true.
Bruce is just the best deck.
It's also the sweetest.
Till it isn't. I love that this thing is like a triple R for such a simple effect.
Oh yeah. Well, I think
everything. It's a festival collection. Everything's triple R.
I know, but even then, like old sets like that, like fighters collections and whatnot, the effects, at least for the shiny stuff or shinier stuff, was usually more complicated than just it big number and can attack certain things.
Mm-hmm.
Like Mike Saburo, the thing that let Great Nature be amazing, where it would let you search a grade 3 when something died, was a fighter's collection card, and that was not the shiny one.
It was a double R, yeah.
Yeah. And this is a triple R, and it's just like, it's 15, but...
Honestly, don't even remember what the shiny card in that set was, nor do I care.
Me neither.
Like, it's probably a card that people play. It was probably like some Leopold Stripe, something stupid. But it was probably a card that, like, literally nobody played. Or maybe people played, like, when it came out, and then once, you got literally any other strides, we're like, nah.
Mm-hmm.
If I had to make a guess. But anywho, so that's the first card. It's fine. I don't know if it's worth playing, but it's certainly a card that exists. So the other card is Blaze Maiden Mirren. So it is a grade 1, 6k, so it's very tiny. And it has, so when your unit with the overdress ability attacks, you can put this unit into your soul. Choose one of your units with the overdress ability, it's power plus 5,000.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, it gets you soul.
Really big deal. So the problem is like, if you look at like arcs, right? Arcs is 15, like the turn you do the thing, right? So with an 8k boost, it's 23, but like this thing is not getting there. I don't like that this is 6k. Maybe I'm kind of focusing on that too much.
Well, its goal isn't to be
right, but you'd still like it to be like a useful boost into.
Yeah. I mean, how important is soul in overdress?
I never thought it was too bad in the overdress deck. Maybe people have had different experiences with that.
Maybe. So maybe it comes down to how important your soul becomes. And then you're like, well, shit, I guess it's a 4 of, or, I don't know. Not
everyone could be Bruce and, like, Soul Blast 3 to draw cards while also meeting soul requirements.
Yeah.
Because that card is very good, by the way, the Soul Blast 3 draw.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, that's fun. We're not going to cover any of the reprints because we've already... Go listen to the other set review.
I mean, they're mostly just reprinting like TD stuff and like extra foily.
Yeah,
and which is cool.
It's like triggers and like random ass TD cards. They are very inconsistent. Because I think Overdress they reprinted the ride line, but then for like Dark States we have Fist Colossus.
Hey, that one's sick though.
Just the name alone. Right? What kind of Colossus are you? Fist!
I mean, he does have some big fists.
No, it looks like they're doing ride lines for everyone, and then also just some random ass card from the TD.
Yeah.
Alright.
The one for, I guess it's just Trickstar, right?
It's Verena.
Oh, Verena. But they're also doing Trickstar.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, it's
Alright, what's next?
We have Diablos Boys Jared, no relation to our friend who played Strike Brothers. So it's a grade 2 10k, act, rearguard circle, once per turn, counter blast 1, soul blast 1. Choose one of your units with Diablos in its name, and it gets power plus 10k until end of turn. And then when it attacks, if you're in final rush, your opponent cannot intercept until end of battle, which does not matter.
I mean...
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter?
I don't think the intercept matters. The 10k might, because you can do it before final rush.
Okay, well that's good. At least that second effect is free, and it's not like, oh, you should pay for this. This is worth it. Like it just comes with the territory.
Mm-hmm.
So fine.
Yeah. This
also,
and it does get like 10k, which means you get to 28 very easily early on, which is nice because that is a problem with Bruce, is you're just not doing anything that first turn.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I think the early game of Bruce is pretty solid, but I just think like you just have to play it like you have to know what you need, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Although this early on in an era where people are, you have access to less cards in a game, and your moves are more deliberate, and locking out intercepts for an attack could be worth it.
Yeah.
I don't know, just trying to look on the bright side. Shout out to our friend Jared.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. What's the other one?
The other card is Degraded Age Dragon. So when placed on rearguard, if your soul has 5 or more cards, discard a card, retire a back row rearguard. So feel like discarding a card is kind of expensive. Bruce can afford to draw things with the Soul Blast 3 dude, but then I also don't know if there's anything in the back row that necessarily needs killing outside of like Stoichea sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I can't really think of anything either.
Yeah. Like, I think Bruce can maybe handle it, but you might also be playing other things. I feel like Borrowed Magnus is already low enough on hand that you probably can't afford to discard.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like,
So yeah.
it better be something important.
Mm-hmm. This feels like something that you might hold on to for later on if there's some annoying back row card that becomes really meta that you want to counter. But I think in the moment it's not very great.
Watch it be one of those cards where, because this is like, shiny, and a couple years down the line, there ends up being like a super important back row card for whatever deck, and then Dark Zone is like, how do we deal with this? And then someone's like, hey, I know. It's like it's the card game equivalent of they were right in front of you the whole trope. All you needed was to wait for them to take off their glasses at the school dance. And it turns out they were hot the whole time.
Yeah.
So someone do a parody of Taylor Swift's "You Belong with Me," but it's just about card games, please. The
That
world
sounds
needs
like
it.
a lot of effort.
Yes, it
Yeah.
does.
I'm sure Hal will do it though.
Dang.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
complain if he does. What else we got?
All right, so I guess we move on to Break A now. I think is next.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the first card is actually a pretty important one, despite being in I think a deck that's quite bad to start with. Is Aurora Battle Princess Spark Limon. So it's a grade 2 for rank 8, and it has the ability when this unit attack hits, choose up to two cards from your opponent's drop and imprison them in your prison. Now, okay, so this card has some issues.
Lol
First of all,
has
it's
to
an
hit.
on hit, right? Second of all, it kind of gives your opponent the ability to kind of get cards. Like, your opponent might get access to those cards at some point. So
Well, that's the thing is, you're choosing what cards to imprison, so you
you're
can
pretty
just
much
put
always
like
going to
2
choose
triggers.
triggers. Right.
Yeah.
So, so as long as your opponent has some triggers, which they likely will, that won't be too bad. But the real kicker is it being on hit. But this is kind of something that makes the deck work without needing to target things on field.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like this is probably something that should have been in the first set.
Yeah. This is like early G era Narukami with
They have
Thunderstrike.
something like they had something like that in the first set. It was like a grade 3 that on hit could imprison something.
Yeah. Great things aren't real.
Although I think that might have been great imprisoning something on board though.
Oh, probably.
Yeah, so it's like early G era with Thunderstrike, where if they didn't have anything to bind, you were just like, well, shit.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's the thing is we had Shatra, and that was also on hit, and lol on hit of X.
Yeah. So,
I mean, on-hit effects gives your opponent a lot of agency over what you're doing, which is why I don't like them particularly. But I think this is like a card that can like make the deck at least function. So that's cool.
hooray, playability, sort of.
Yeah. I just wish. It's just unfortunate that it came in this festival collection rather than being in the first set.
Yep, as a
Yeah.
common.
And then,
All right. And then we have one more card for rank 8.
Yeah.
Which is Twin Press Smasher. Another grade 2. It has an act ability on rearguard circle. You can counterblast one restless unit to choose one of your opponent's front row rearguards and retire it.
Sorry, when did we go back to being Nova Grappler?
Well, rank it.
Yeah, but like, neither deck gives a crap about rested units, so until we get like actual Nova Grappler cards that restand your shit, I don't see why you would use this card.
It's, I don't know. It
Like,
allows you to deal with stuff that's annoying or whatever.
you have the order for Orphist, and then prison. There are things you would rather retire instead of imprisoning it, but then you still have to deal with the fact that you have this rested rearguard just sitting there taking up space.
You can always keep it in the back and then...
Yeah, but, like, that could just be, like, a card you guard with, or a rear guard that actually matters.
Yeah.
I think this card is pretty good. You're basically kind of trading a card, but, like, you have the opportunity to trade it multiple times. And, like, obviously it's a grade 2, which kind of makes it... If this were a grade 1, this card would obviously be nuts. Because, you can stick it behind Vanguard and just, like, do what you need to do.
Every turn, pick something off the board.
I mean, you don't have to do it every turn, right? You just, like, if you don't need it, you just boost with it.
Yeah.
But, like, it being a grade 2 makes it a little more awkward, but it's possible that this can still, like, be worthwhile, I think.
This should have been in Cater Sanctuary, where everything is given boost.
Yeah, no, how about no? Heater needs not very much else.
Oh, I know. Speaking of?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, speaking of, we have Harpbow of Heavenly Music, Alpheon, so he's a grade 3, 13k. Act once per turn. If you have 3 or more grade 3, you counterblast 1, give it 5k, and then if you Persona Road, draw a card. This just seems like a strict downgrade of Alden.
Yeah, why would you play this card over any of the other things?
Budget.
Yeah. Possibly. But, like, yeah, this is just, like, a strict downgrade over the other gain power and draw things options you have in Keter.
Yeah.
I don't know why this would... This card just seems pointless.
Well,
and then we
they
have...
got so much good stuff, only direction to go was down.
Right?
Yeah, except they did reveal a way to make, Hour of Holy Judgment better, with that one other order.
Which one, line up? Or...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where you still gain the same amount of cards, but then one of them is a drive check. But you also gain extra power, and one of them is a drive check now.
Yeah.
Which is always nice. But that's not in this set. We also have Gold Gaon. So it's grade 2, 10k. When this unit is placed, you can Soul Blast 1, call a grade 1 from hand to rear guard circle, and the unit called gets power plus 5,000.
I don't know what it is about, like, early in a boot, I guess you could say. But what is it about, I'm going to use an effect to call something from my hand, which I likely would have done anyway, and then do a thing.
Yeah, and, like, doesn't give enough power to make a good column. I guess it doesn't have to be called behind itself.
No, you can...
But then you're still running into the same problem where this is just a vanilla 10k, and you have to figure out how to make this matter.
I don't know what to tell you.
This just seems like extra steps to give something 5k.
Well, if you were going to just call it from hand anyway, it's better than nothing.
Yeah.
I know that Cater does a lot of grade 3s, at least in the case of Bastion. But how much is that, by the way? How many like grade 3s are you running about?
A lot of the topping decks I've seen just run only grade 3s. You don't run other grades, because why would you?
Defense, I guess? I don't really...
You
Other
have a
grades
grade
are troll.
3 that gains shield. You don't need it.
Then I don't know what to tell you. That looks like you're fine. Thanks, Ride Deck. So...
Yeah, you play, like, a bazillion grade 3s.
Yep.
You play Rooks, I think?
I haven't seen any lists from Japan playing Brooks, but that is an option, and that's, like, the only one.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's a Morikawa's dream.
Yeah, only Morikawa are alive in the era, right?
Yeah. I still think they should have him cameo where he's just like an old ass man.
No. He's not allowed to participate.
Even if he's just in the background?
Correct.
Okay. Alright, for Stoichea we have a Hydro Rail Dragon, so grade 3 Persona Ride 13k on Rail. When this unit's attack hits a Vanguard, because of course, you can retire itself, choose a grade 3 unit from your drop, and put it into your hand. So you can recycle your Persona Rides. Seems okay. I feel like either deck could kind of make use of this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how useful it is because I haven't been able to test anything in real life, and I've been going strictly off of Root Beer and Chris's results and stuff I'm seeing online. So, is this any good?
I mean, I feel like you would want it in Magnolia because Persona writing is more important there, but also Ocean Man is the deck that will actually be able to mill enough cards to find a grade 3 in a timely fashion.
Mm-hmm.
Also lol on hit.
I know.
But yeah.
What are you gonna do?
This seems like something that, like, you might have to play in Magnolia just out of necessity, but, like, you're not going to enjoy it.
At least for now. And then there's Sylvan Beast Corsi. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. It's a grade 1 with boost, 15k power, and no shield. And it's just one continuous effect. It cannot be ridden or called other than to the back row center. When I first saw the translation for this, I thought that was normal called, and I thought you could do some wacky shit, but it looks like you
Just called.
Just called.
Yeah,
So,
this card is not good.
yeah, I mean, it is a 15k boost, so...
Yeah, but that doesn't make a difference over being 13k. And also, like, you can only boost your Vanguard with it, which that's like the one where you're probably okay with it being a little bit weaker because you have drive checks.
Yeah.
And drive checks still present some sort of inherent threat regardless, just because yellow cards exist.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, being a 15k boost to your Vanguard is probably the place where it matters the least. And as an attacker, it doesn't make enough of a difference over just being 13k, because I don't think you ever reach a situation where it hits numbers unless they start introducing 18k Vanguard. Or, like, 15k Vanguards.
Or just like you remember those draw triggers, shove and soul, give something 3k for the turn, like just little stuff like that.
Yeah, like either Vanguard, your opponent's Vanguard gets a weird amount of power, or they start giving power increases in weird increments.
Mm-hmm.
As like the only way this will make a difference over like Bulbasaur, which is 13k.
Yeah, or if Vanguard attacks start mattering in terms of like on hit effects.
Mm-hmm. Well, like, I don't really foresee that happening with the current crop of bosses.
Nope. So, poor guy. I feel like I could ironically see this as like a one of in Zorga. Just call it at a drop behind Vanguard if you want.
I mean,
yeah.
At that point, you might as well. Just
pretty large.
Yeah, it is pretty large, but I also feel like with Zorga, you could just spend that one spot on literally anything else too.
Just keep calling the Mantis, dude.
Yeah.
It's actually nuts.
Mm-hmm. Also, another thing, like taking up back row center is competing against Ginozla on your first turn, which is actually pretty big. Because, like, again, your Vanguard can afford to be a bit weaker, especially since early on people are likely to take that first attack. And so I think I'd rather have my side columns be bigger rather than trying to make my Vanguard big.
Yeah, God forbid they ever decide to make stuff that can boost diagonally. It would be very weird.
Yeah.
By the way, I looked up the set that Mike Saburo came in, Fighters Collection Winter 2015.
Uh-huh.
And the triple R for that set, the shiny version, was Cath Palud. Which,
Sure.
You're right, it just didn't matter.
Sure.
Yeah, Cath Palud was a stride where if a rear guard attacked, you could counterblast one and give it a dope and a life insurance, and it was like, okay, fine, I guess, but you needed, what's-his-face, Chat Noir as your heart card, and you needed, like, 3 or 4 counterblasts to make that worthwhile. So it's like, who the fuck cares at all? So, good times. But who won this thing?
I mean, I feel like in terms of cards that will actually see play, probably Dark States. Like, I could see
Oh.
myself experimenting with Jared.
Yeah.
Maybe, maybe Brantgate 2, just because the first set was so bad that you might have to force some of these cards into, like, prison to make it function on a fundamental level.
Normally, I would ask about which nation ends up the best off because of the set, and then the cards themselves. But because a lot of these cards are so, you're kind of just back where you started.
Yeah. Also, were you going to say something, Matt? I feel like I cut you off.
Oh no, you're fine.
Okay.
If I was, I don't remember what that was going to be.
So I guess talk about the product stream from what was it? Almost a week ago. Because we're good at that. They revealed some stuff about the giant whale and what Bermuda Triangle's bringing to the table.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
A whole nation.
it looks like it's not just women. There's going to be dudes now.
Infuriating.
Yeah. That's what they say, but I also didn't see any dudes in any of the promo images.
It's like a reverse sausage fest. No, they're coming. I swear, they're coming. They said they were coming.
Yep, they will eventually be there or something. Yeah, that's cool.
It is good. If they're going to be putting them into the main set, it would be good to have them be a relatively normal clan or nation aesthetically to fit in with everything else. And not just anime fish idols.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty neat.
I really want to see what this, the city on a whale looks like. Just the drawing of it by itself. I get really interested in stuff like this where they're like, all right, here's how the streets are lined up. This is what apartment buildings look like. Like, I want to see a TV show about somebody who moves to the city on a whale and it's like, I'm going to make it in the big city, but it's on a fucking whale.
Okay.
No one's excited with me? Okay, fine.
Sorry. I'm trying to build up the excitement. I can't do it.
Not for a city on a whale, not for anything. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. All right. They also showed that we're getting 2 more V clan collections.
Yeah.
So
the thing that they already told us that we were going to get.
Yeah, but they showed what units are coming back, which let's see.
Yeah, we're getting what's this?
We're getting Thing Saver.
Wow, I can't actually remember the Shadow Paladin card right now. Even though he's like a giant meme.
Raging Form? Looks like
Thank
Raging
you.
Form. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Raging Form.
Oh, we knew about Raging Form though, right?
Yeah, we already knew about it. I just couldn't remember its name.
That was Raging Form. Is that Prominence Glare or Core? I can't tell. I think.
You know what? Let's just say Bluish Flames and leave it at that.
Okay. A Bluish Flame and then a Musketeer of some sort.
Yeah, that looks like Musketeers.
And then there's also Thing Saver Giraffa from Mega Colony and which mermaid is that?
Giant memes.
Yeah.
What new mechanic is Mega Colony going to get this set?
Oh, God.
Giraffa had retire actually.
That's
yes,
true,
it did.
Yeah, it was kind of sort of board wiping, but only for grade 1s because they're like, that's important. It's not.
Yeah.
That's funny.
We're also getting the true Blue Wave unit.
Tetra Drive Dragon. Oh, we also knew that one already.
Yeah. Some Bermuda thing. I know they're introducing new original cards for the Ninja Clans because the Ninja Clans didn't have enough cards overall for them to rehash.
True.
It's honestly kind of hilarious.
And there was going to be some cards for D series too, right? Or maybe not in that, but in somewhere. They're bringing some shit back.
Yeah, oh
Yeah,
God!
let's talk about the thing that everyone hates.
I hate this so much.
What? What do we hate?
So, Phantom Blaster Dragon of Shadow Paladin and Dragonic Overlord of Dragonic Overlord the Clan
Yeah, Draconic Overlord's a really good clan.
are coming back,
Best clan.
not just in V Premium and thus Premium, but also D Series, where it can be used both as Kagero and Dragon Empire, or Tater Sanctuary and Shadow Paladin.
What's the problem?
Okay, my problem is that there are rich teams and there are poor teams. Then there's 50 feet of crap, and then no. My problem is that the idea of switching to nations was a way that made the reboot feel more tangible, and this feels like they're kind of like pussyfooting around. That's how I feel, anyway.
All right, that's respectable.
Red Beer, what about you?
Yeah, no, I'm in the same boat. I feel like this was probably going to happen sooner or later. Like, nostalgia pandering is just always a thing in any series, no matter what. Why do you think we have 12 million Blue Eyes cards or Dark Magician cards? But like, set 2 is very soon for this to be happening. Like, I would have expected at least until like set 4 at the end of the year to see like how the reboot pans out a bit. And the fact that the next set of these encounter cards that are redoing old units isn't coming until March 2022 tells me that they also realize that this concept undermines the reboot to an extent, which is why they are having to space it out, but also like they're doing it.
It's still weird to me because like when they announced this, people were like, it kind of were kind of annoyed that they're doing another reboot in such a short amount of time. But the content of the reboot itself, we were excited for. We were okay with all these clans like cramming together and these new units coming about, especially with a new design team. Take it and run, guys. Do what you got to do. You know.
Ban overtriggers.
Yes.
Yeah. We need to get what's his name on our show because he had a great video just explaining all the problems with it.
I've heard I was reading some people's like arguments about it earlier today, and I obviously there was like some meme arguments that were basically like just shuffle better, like literally came down to just shuffle better. Like what that would say to me, like if somebody said to me in real life, I was like, oh, so you cheat on the regular. That's the only thing I would think if they said that to me in real life.
I mean, kind
but
of.
like, wait, what?
It kind of feels like victim blaming. Like, oh, shuffle better, wear different clothes next time.
It's like doesn't. I mean, even like yeah, maybe I lost, maybe I won. Like it doesn't really matter. The point is like in about a third of games or whatever, like there's gonna be this card that shows up that dramatically alters the outcome of the game. That's completely random. It could be either way. You know, it could be in for the player who's already ahead. It could not be. But the point is, like, there's just no counterplay. There's no, like, preparation. There's no nothing, right? Like, I had an argument in Discord with someone over saying, like, oh, it was like, you know, it's like when Effect Failure came out, it was basically like, if you had Effect Failure, you just lost. And I'm like, well, does that, you know, and it's like, well, yeah, but you know what they're looking to Effect Failure, right? You know, like, you're aware of Effect Failure's existence. You know, like, what they're looking to Effect Failure, you know, whatever. But, like, with overtriggers, you're just like, well, it could be there. And that's even before, you know, you get to decks like pulling it out for like extra shield or, you know, what have you.
Taking it defensively and just ending your turn.
I think that's what bothers me the most is the random like turn endingness of it.
Can you imagine like setting up your Stochea turn and then your opponent just taking an overtrigger first damage and you'd be like, okay, cool, I guess we're done here.
Yeah. I mean, that's every clan, right? You're like, overtrigger. Alright, cool.
Guess I'll
Pass
die.
turn.
Yeah.
You're just dead.
That happened to me in a game against Chris where he, like, damage checked an overtrigger really early in the game. And so, I think I was testing Stochea too, so, like, I was my big early turn where I was trying to start pushing damage just ended, and he was still at 2 damage later on, so the next big turn I went was just completely pointless because I had to play catch up now.
Yeah, it's just absolutely insane how people defend these things. Like, I don't think overtriggers are really defensible. And like the people who say like, oh, they're only one card, they don't show up that often, and I'm like, no. You see much more than one of your 49 cards a game. You see most of your deck every game, and there's a fair chance, like probably about 1 in 3, that that thing gets checked,
Mm-hmm.
or defensively or offensively. And like yeah, and it can be even like the shield is like not irrelevant, but that's like not the part I'm worried about. I'm worried about the 100,000 power that it gives,
100
or
100
100
million.
million.
million. Sorry,
100,000 might still be possible.
I wish it were like 50k power instead of 100 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would think it would just be like 50k shield, 50k trigger power. Like, why 100 million?
The card's probably reasonable at 50k power, honestly. Like
Yeah.
it's like an annoying one of, but like more reasonable,
Mm-hmm.
and like countered by your opponent drawing their over trigger, not even like
Yeah.
checking it.
Mm-hmm.
And like 50k is feasible. You could maybe get to that threshold if you're a bit lucky.
Yeah. But the way it is now, you're just like doomed.
Mm-hmm.
We always come back to this, don't we?
Yeah.
It's
But anyway.
just like the single like most frustrating thing about overdress, right?
Yeah. Oh, and Lyrical Monasterio might have 3 over triggers because they revealed 3 ORR arts. I'm really hoping it's just 3 different arts for like the same effect.
That's what I'm
But I
hoping
have
for
a
too.
sneaking suspicion that it's actually just 3 over triggers.
Rip.
I would like to see where they just ban over triggers.
Yeah. Unfortunately, like they can't do it until every nation has one. Like, or at least I feel like that's how they're gonna do it.
I was gonna say,
Because they already have the ORRs set up for their Monasterio, right? So if this was going to happen, it wouldn't be until set 4 at least.
Mhm.
You know how it is to talk to people about this game and be like, oh, by the way, these things called over triggers exist.
Yeah.
Like, come on. But it's at the end of the day, it's not my decision. So,
Mm-hmm.
but I can raise a stink about it at any opportunity.
Yeah. I just hope this is something like Japan turns on it event.
soon.
As I think you said that they like were kind of into it, at least early on. I don't know if they've changed their opinion recently.
Yeah, I don't know either. Hopefully, they find it very annoying.
Could also just be a
They also still have
cultural
Max C
split
legal for
these
some reason.
days
So there's
where
that.
like over triggers end up being banned in the English version of the game and not the Japanese version.
Oh, and then
You
you
know what?
start
Sure.
getting Yu-Gi-Oh vibes from it.
It still has Max C, and they're done for that, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Let's see. Apparently, there's going to be effect heal triggers soon.
Oh yeah, for the V premium set, which
Yeah.
is
Interesting. What if they're gonna have left shield? That'd be cool.
It's gonna be more shield and a bigger effect and more power.
I mean, if it's like less shield, but like maybe more shield with like a condition, it could be fun.
Maybe.
Mhm.
15k
15k shield with an effect.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the effect could gain more shield theoretically, right?
Mhm.
Like
See.
it's fine.
I suspect this is their way of rehashing G Guardians for V, so I just expect Kaguro to have Denial Griffin.
Please God no.
Because of course they would.
Then they can actually have 2 Denial Griffins.
Oh no.
Okay, they can't target my sweeper.
Oh man. I have a weird thing going on with my computer right now where I can hear you guys fine, but for some reason I have the rainbow ball when I'm trying to do anything.
What, Rainbow Ball?
Like the
The
loading thing.
Oh, so I don't have a Mac.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
get it.
We aren't the inferior PC he consume or the inferior computer consuming person.
Hmm.
Wow. Rude. Or something.
There we go.
It is saving the episode. The episode's being recorded fine, right?
Yeah, just
Just being memed right now.
yeah, it's just being an asshole. All right. Okay, so was there anything else we wanted to cover?
Oh no, that's a big thing is festival collection.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I should be getting my crap this weekend.
Yeah, hopefully same here.
Maybe I got like a box or two just to see, try to pull something, but we'll see.
Yeah.
But
Same
mostly
here.
I just ordered playsets.
I ordered a box for the sake of making a pack opening video.
Hashtag content.
Hashtag content. All right.
Might not come right away because I'm doing a thing this weekend.
Yeah.
We do what we can. All right. Thanks everybody for listening to the show. If you want to help support us, patreon.com/Nexus at Nights, or follow us on Twitter at Nexus at Nights. Where can they find you guys?
You can find me on Twitter at Wiggums, 2Gs2Zs.
Find me at Plasma Eclipse.
Find me at Atlas Novak, Twitter, Instagram, or those guys. I think it's just Twitter. They don't really do Instagram.
Yeah, Twitter's dope. Or actually, no, I hate Twitter. But
No, they all suck.
Twitter
What are you
is-
talking about?
Twitter is a worthless hell site, but
Yeah.
let's not get into that.
But yeah.
But, yeah. So, thanks to $10 patrons Darren and Cole. And until next time, I was Atlas.
I'm Root Beer.
And have a good night, everybody.